You're such an asshole.
Hello everybody, assholeconsulting.com. There is no rest for the wicked here. For America's older brother you never had. That's me, Aaron Clary. If you have questions, you go to assholeconsulting.com and I'll give you the elderly brotherly advice that your single mom never gave you because the dad wasn't around, or your deadbeat dad split. And I have to thank all you baby boomer and Gen X parents for fucking up your kids' upbringing, because if there was stable nuclear June Award Cleaver families and you guys actually loved your children, I'd be shit plumb out of a job. I have to go work a real one. I'd still be in banking. But thankfully, you guys fucked your kids up and dads aren't around, fathers, and you replace them with government checks. So now I make money. This is great. Thank you, feminism. All right. We have a young man writes, hey, Aaron, how much for a video request? Given the mediocre results I had on Tinder, I decided that it's time to quit, but I might as well experiment with it since I'm quitting anyways. That's good. Experimentation is always good. It's better to find your mistakes now and find out what works early on rather than, quote, keep doing the right thing, what everyone says you should do, and it doesn't succeed, and then bang your head against the wall. I mean, even if everyone's telling you, do this is the right thing to do, usually means it's not. That's just what the sheep will do. So you change, mix shit up, fuck shit up a little bit, see if things don't work out, and they typically do. I just changed my Tinder profile from something classy to a selfie with abs. I changed my description from something accurate to the following. I sexually identify as a king, and you may refer to me by the following gender pronouns, your majesty or his majesty. That's good. That's good, man. That's not bad. After 5 minutes of swiping, I got 3 likes, 2 of them from 19-year-old models. Yes, actual models, and they're both solid 10s. Oh, 10s. Oh. When you get older, you'll find out what a pain in the ass it is to date 10s. Problem. Just saying hi and introducing myself never got me a response. 1, what's a good opener? They seem to be down with the sexist humor, so should I double down with it? 2, have I hit a gold mine? 1, what's a good opener? What you had right there. Hi is a great opener. All right. I know there are some philosophies and theoreticians and pickup artists that would say, you got to do a backhanded compliment. You got to, and so that's true. Again, some of it is true. But if the girl's already liked or whatever, Googled or whatever they're doing nowadays on the Tinder, and you said hi, or how you doing, or howdy pretty lady, something cute, something simple like that, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Women have gotten men on the ropes so long that you guys got to think you got to come up with these great one-liners that the writing staff for Casablanca took years to figure out, and you got to come up with it like that. Saying hi, how you doing is good enough. Okay, you're gonna find out that the problem isn't with you; it's with the type of girls the pond you're fishing in here. All right. Have you hit a gold mine? No, you haven't. And I'll explain why here. All right. 1, you have to understand who your audience is right now. You are on Tinder, chasing women in their late teens and 20s, which, when combined, women on their own are pretty much attention whoring at the age of 19 and 20s. But you apply to Tinder, they are attention whoring on steroids right now. And as I said before in my previous video, how to get laid, about nightclubs, it is the same thing with Tinder. A nightclub is nothing more than a cathedral where women go for self-worship. They go there for self-praise. Right? You dumb guys come there with your sacrificial offerings and tithing and donate to the collection plate of free booze. All right? But they have no intention of meeting you there, or very few do. Same thing on Tinder. The vast majority of the girls are not interested in meeting you there. They're there for self-validation and self-worship. It is the digital cathedral for women of self-praise and self-worship. All right? Now, I know I said before that I still would recommend going online dating and Tinder and all that because of how efficient it is. You just have to swipe. This takes 1/1,000,000th of the calories of energy of you driving your ass down to a nightclub, standing in line, paying money, paying drinks, and all that. Okay? So the numbers, but the vast majority, not all of them, but the vast majority of the women are there, and you're going to fail. Right? Here's the second thing, though, about the hole you're fishing in. 19-year-old 10s, your actual models. Have you ever dated 10s? Have you ever dated 9s? Have you ever tolerated models? I've dated professional cheerleaders, 2 of them. Royal pains in the asses. They're just like the Ferrari I rented over in Las Vegas. It looks good. It's a royal pain in the ass to drive. And girls that are super good looking, especially better looking than you. Now, you're a pretty good looking dude, though, too. You got the abs and everything, I remember. But even then, they've got every guy in the world throwing themselves at you. They are there for entertainment. They're not only there for self-worship and praise, they're there for you to be their little monkey boy to dance and entertain them. Dance, little monkey boy, dance, entertain me. That's what they're there for, especially the 8s, the 9s, and the 10s. So what you got to do, if you want to have any success with this, is you always go 1 to 2 points lower. Doable. I know like everybody wants to do the 9 and the 10 until you talk to them. And then the actual mental pain, for once, it's so painful in this head that this head starts to feel pain, saying, oh fuck, we agree, this isn't worth it. So what I would do when it comes to Tinder, you go 1 or 2 below. Right? Is your goal to date and go out and have fun and meet girls and maybe have sex at some point in time? Go 1 to 2 points beneath you. Do not ever go for the 9s and the 10s. Unless you yourself are a 10, then you could go for a 9. But even then, the amount of attention they get has inflated these girls' sense of market value that even then you may have to go 2 to 3 points down lower. And then you're kind of like, well, do you even want to? Right? But again, it's a numbers game. You just keep swipe, or delete or whatever it is. But they always say swipe left or swipe right. Whatever you do, keep doing that 1,000,000 times over. And that, what, 15, 20 minutes of that, I'm sure 1 or 2 will actually hit. That's 1 or 2 points below you. But if you're going after girls that are like used to just getting bathed in attention and having little monkey boys dance for them in high school, and now they're on the internet where 3.5 billion men of the world are all just singing them praises. Yeah, they're not. You sent them a high. That's like giving the pastor a $10 bill in the donation plate. They get gigglies. They get excitements. They got the attentions. And you got screwed. Well, no, you didn't. Right? So I would kind of keep in context, what are these women there for? And if they're that much better looking and they're that hot, do they have any real intention of meeting a guy, or is it just for attention and validation? And you'll find out most of it's attention and validation. And then finally, and this addresses like, well, what's a good line? How do I get it? As long as it's polite and funny, somewhat clever, and you only have a sentence maybe, but you men really got to start taking inventory of what you are doing. You said, hi, how are you doing? Or, howdy, pretty lady. That's more than adequate. That's polite, that's funny, that's charming, that's simple. You've already expressed your interest. And after that, after you've done it politely, you didn't screw up, there was no screw-ups, it's out of your market, or it's out of your court, ball's out of your court. The decision is no longer yours. And this is what I call ping pong theory. You need someone else to play ping pong with. You hit the ball over to their side of the net, they got to hit it back to you. If you hit the ball to the girl's side of the net and the ball never comes back, you can swing all you want, you're not hitting the ball. And so this I developed a long time ago. This was back when I was like, 18 probably. Maybe 19 at the latest. I was definitely before I was 20. And I would realize I'd call a girl. This is when we had answering machines. That's how long ago it was. We'd leave the answering machine. I'd never hear back from them. I wouldn't call them back. Some guys, I know this one guy, now he's a little bit older. He's like, well, I give him 3 calls. I'll call him once. 5 days later, I'll call him again. Then maybe 2 or 3. I'm like, dude, if you haven't called me back, fuck you. You obviously aren't that. I'm not going to work for you. Look, they can either work for you or you work for them. Which is it going to be? And so that's just been a great rule I've followed where, now I guess today it's texting, or in your case, messaging on Tinder, where you've hit the ball to their side of the court. Did they hit it back? No, fuck them. Guess what? The great thing about Tinder is there's a million other girls on that site or app, right? So I would not worry about not getting responses from the bishops and archbishops and the cardinals and the popes of the Cathedral of Women of Self-Worship. These women are too busy chanting their seances and looking at themselves in the mirror and doing duck-face selfies to even be aware that you texted them and said hi. Because that's not what they're about. They're about mental masturbation. They're about self-praise at the Tinder, right? You want to find a girl who actually wants to meet a guy, and so if you're that good looking, go 1 to 2 below. So you're doing what? 8s and 9s, 7.5, 8s and a halves, all right? And then you'll find a girl that's very pretty. You can go date. You might have an interest. They'll be smarter than the ones that are 9s and 10s. And you're not wasting your time with these girls that never hit the ball back. So there's no sense of saying what's a good opener. Your good opener, hi, how you doing? Good enough. absolutely good enough for girls. And if girls can appreciate the effort behind you saying hi, the courage it took you to say that, then fuck them or not fuck them. All right. So there's nothing. I mean, I know the pickup artists and people. Well, you got to come up with this witty and here's a line. Sure, go ahead. What I'm trying to do is get you to understand the psychology of you put your foot forward. It may not be your best foot, but you put that polite and good foot forward, and you said, "Hey, how you doing?" If you didn't hear back from them, fuck them. All right. The second thing is, have you hit a gold mine? No, not with the 9s in it. Not in Tinder in general. You've improved it with funny humor right off the bat. It was very clever what you did there. And I would totally keep doing that. But you haven't hit a gold mine. You've just slightly improved your first step forward, which is your image, the profile that they saw. And keep working with that. I would, you owe it to yourself. You had this little bit of success. Change a couple other variables. Experiment a little bit. But this one little tweak is not going to solve the fundamental flaws of Tinder and the environment and the culture and the psychology of women that go there. So, I mean, yes, I know people have had success with Tinder. Absolutely, keep going. Nothing wrong with it. But don't get your hopes up. If you are hitting the ball over and the girls never hit it back, one, you haven't hit a gold mine, and two, it's not your fault. There's really no gold. You might get a little bit of gold here and there, but there just isn't. I mean, you should realize this. I'm trying to tell a younger man such as yourself. There just aren't that many good girls out there. There just isn't. Right? And they will self-screen. They really will. So don't constantly be on the hunt for, this formula. What's the words I say? How do I craft my first set? No, you know what? Fuck all that bullshit. You don't have time for that crap. Neither does any self-respecting guy. They don't have time for that crap either. Hey, how you doing? That's it. Girl can't appreciate that? Fine. On to the next one. And you know what? If all of a sudden you're spending 2 hours a night on Tinder and you're still having no success, yeah, then maybe it's not for you, and maybe you might want to try something else. But you're doing fine. Just realize that it's not you. It's the fish in the pond that you're fishing in. It really and sadly you don't have that many other. It's not like the next pond. Not like Plenty of Fish is going to be different, or the OK Cupid, or Bumbler. That's not gonna be any. It's just. Well, wait. There is one though. My buddy was telling me about it, where the girls can initiate contact. Only the girls. Find that one. I think it's the Bumbler. The girls are the only ones that can initiate contact, and that might save you a lot of time. Because guys always initiate contact, but the girls are ultimately the determiners of whether or not they're going to go out. Try that one. That you might have a little bit more luck with there. But as for your technique, your practice, you're doing fine. Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. It's just the nature of the game. Anyway, best of luck to you guys. If you guys got questions, go to assholeconsulting.com. You want to read some books that are awesome, go to amazon.com and get my books. Look up AARONCLAREY. Go to my blog, CaptainCapitalism.blogspot.com. And then also go to, what is the other thing? Podcast, SoundCloud.com. Listen to my great fucking wisdom. Your older brother that you never had. Tools.